Yeah, check it out, man. It's your boy Akon. Don't forget, check me out on the Bootleg Kev podcast. See you soon.
Before we start the episode, man, I got to remind everybody that we are on the radio in 80 cities every single day across the country, man. Real 92.3 every day, Monday through Friday in Los Angeles. Wild 94.1 in Tampa. KKFR in Phoenix. We're all over the place. Miami, Vegas. We can go on and on. Want to give a shout out to our latest affiliate. Shout out to Knoxville, Tennessee, man. Hot 104.5 for being the latest city to join the Bootleg Kev Show network. All right. Now, I don't ever really talk about the radio show on the podcast. Keep them separate. But if you want to listen to the radio show, you can click the link in the bio for a list of all the cities you can listen to at. Yeah. Does that make sense? Let's get to the interview. Yo, Bootleg Kev Show, man. We got a special guest in here. A living legend. Akon in the building.
What's going on, Kev?
What's good, brother?
Amazing.
First of all, you got this new song going crazy. I got to say congrats. I can't believe it's been 20 years since the debut album dropped.
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't even believe it. Like,
it's
time
wild.
flew.
It makes me feel like old because I just remember that, just a few of them records just being on mixtapes. And there was like, I think Green Lantern had the remix of Ghetto going crazy. And I'm like, damn, that was 20 years ago.
That's crazy, bro.
How's it feel, man?
No, it feels amazing.
Yeah.
Because it don't feel like 20 years to me.
Right.
It really don't. Like, it feels like just a few years maybe.
Right.
Because even now when I look at my career in the business and how I'm still relevant in it, I can't believe that 20 years went past.
Right.
Fast.
Super fast, yeah. And you've had so much like arms to your business. Like obviously as an artist, that's one thing. Prolific run and it's still going. And then as an executive, as an entrepreneur.
Right. Yeah, I think all that played a role. And I used to always say that in the beginning as one of my advices, just try to put on as many people as possible.
Right.
Because they become the longevity of your career.
Yeah.
Because as long as they're out in the marketplace, they always bring your energy around. Or when they see them, they see you. So it's kind of like a way of extending your career to the max.
Yo, how dope is it to have like your brother also have his own like success?
Right.
Like Boo's had so many
Boo killing it.
And he's done so much.
Right.
And people, I feel like I just found out somebody he was behind or somewhere he was around. I was like, damn, he's there now? Like, I forget. He's doing everything.
Yeah, Boo working, man. He was meant to be an exec.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people don't know it was Boo that found T-Pain and brought him to me.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So he came in already from an executive mind space.
Yeah, for sure. You and Payne got a song or a show coming up at Red Rocks.
Yeah, Red Rock. Yeah.
Halloween Eve, 30th.
It's gonna be crazy.
Who headlines that?
It's actually Payne's show.
So it's T-Pain's show. You're okay.
Yeah, he's bringing me out as a special guest.
Oh, that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many songs are you gonna do?
We'll see.
We'll see. That's gonna be crazy. Yo,
we'll see.
So the last time you were on the show, you had just had your hair thing done from Turkey. We talked about it extensively. You shaved it all off.
Yeah. I got a new look now.
So what made you shave off? Because you went and got the procedure done just to shave it off.
Well, the thing is, I can always allow it to grow back.
Okay.
That's the beauty of it.
So for this run, you're like, I'm shaving the head.
Yeah, because it's like it's a lot of maintenance keeping the waves going and all that.
Yeah, and you also look like you look like Trouble Akon right now.
Yeah, I look a little bit younger with it. They say I look a lot younger with it, but it feels better too, especially around the summertime when it was super hot. I think when it gets colder, I might let some more hair grow or whatever the case may be. But
talk to me about obviously this new record, Beautiful Day is dope, but I know like you got a new album on the way.
Yeah, new album, Not Guilty.
Not Guilty.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, it's a statement for the culture. I just think the culture's under attack right now.
What do you mean by that?
Just in general, I think the way it's just such a negative vibration in the music business. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of it came from just miseducation. But for the most part, like when I look, that's one of the reasons why I even created Beautiful Day, because I just feel like sometimes we take a lot of things for granted, bro. Like no matter how bad your life is, somebody out there got it worse. Yeah. And we're always focusing on what we want or what we should have versus what we already have that we should be grateful for.
Do you feel like because there's been so many negative things happening in the music industry, so many people are worried about people getting exposed with the Diddy situation. Right. Do you feel like that? Because obviously, like we kind of all grew up like looking at Diddy, and like, look, for Diddy's rights or wrongs, like he's a mogul. He's he's somebody who we could look at and be like, yo, I want to aspire to be a boss like him.
100%.
So when something like this happens and it feels like there's going to be a lot of aftershock that might affect other people in the music industry. Do you feel like there's like a weight of that situation in particular weighing on just the industry in general, or
I think it's weighing on the whole industry, because
Yeah.
I don't think a situation like that can happen without the industry's participation. You know what I mean? But for the most part, the industry always like bred these kind of situations, these kind of behaviors. And I think it's at a time now where the world itself is just cleansing itself.
Yeah.
I think I see this more of as a spiritual movement than it is something physical or someone being, directly targeted, if that makes sense.
Nah, for
Because
sure.
this is something that needs to be exposed for everyone, spiritually, to cleanse themselves, their emotions, their thoughts, all the lies need to come out. Like, we just need to get back to being human versus playing the role of what other people want us to play. And I think we're at that point now where you're forced to now have to confront all your doings. I just think like nature does that spiritually. It does it physically. Like even think about all these hurricanes and all this stuff in areas that we never expected it to happen.
Yeah.
The world is just cleansing itself. Period. And I don't think we're gonna be exempt to it.
Yeah, you think there's like a spiritual cleansing for sure? Like
1,000%.
Yeah.
That's how I feel for sure.
Yeah, I think that is one thing you said. Like when it comes to like certain levels of some of this stuff that just became like normal behavior, like you said, like
Right.
everybody is.
Yeah, I mean,
People were ignoring this stuff and participating and
Right.
enabling. You can go all the way back to like some of the allegations against like Russell Simmons. And, like,
Right.
you know what I mean? So it's like this kind of behavior isn't new, and it was kind of the worst kept secret. So that's where I wonder, once all of the like trials and start happening, like, does security play a part in getting in trouble?
Of course.
The assistant,
I mean,
the person
because
who answers the emails, the person that runs and picks up the drugs. And,
Right.
there's going to be so many people, like there's so many people enabled.
It's too many elements.
Too many.
And it's nothing that he could have personally been able to do by himself.
Yeah.
It had to have been supported by people around him that support the whole concept. And I think this is the point where everybody's, going to be worried. And this is the reason why the whole industry's quiet. No one's speaking out, because as many people that this man has helped, uplifted, and set up to live them lives, their lives, or set up their lives of family, you would expect someone to come in his defense. But no
I
one's
think the only
doing
person
that.
who did was Stevie J, I think.
Yeah, he's probably the only one.
I'm assuming you haven't been to any freak-offs.
No, I don't do freak-offs. Unfortunately not. Because I was never a party person. And
I was gonna say, you're not that kind of guy.
and
I
then
feel like anytime I see you at any like event, it's like you're there on business.
I'm in and out.
You're in and out.
Right.
Yep.
And and if you never really see me hanging around with celebrities or none of that, because that was never really my life. I just saw it as work for perspective, but I always thought the mindset of how people or celebrities per se think, they always felt like they were above everyone else, and I didn't like that attitude.
Yeah. I feel like even like anytime I've ever had encounters with you, you're very like you're just a normal dude. Yeah, I mean, but
I was just blessed to be in a position.
But you're also Akon.
I get it. I'm popular, but I don't think it changed the man, though.
Yo, talk to me about because obviously you have a lot of entrepreneurial stuff. I just opened a pizza restaurant here in Burbank, and I heard
me too.
I heard you just opened one in Jacksonville, right?
Yeah, I got 3 in Atlanta and 1 in Jacksonville that we just opened up, and we're gonna spread out to the West Coast as well too.
How's the pizza game?
We should do a collab.
We should, man. Yeah,
that would
my
be dope.
spot's like right here on the corner.
Oh, is it?
It's right. Yeah, it's right here in Burbank.
That would be hard.
Yeah,
that would be dope.
How's the pizza game been for you? Like,
man, amazing.
Yeah,
like bro, like it takes. I mean, literally, it only costs 8 cents to make.
Yeah, pizza is the highest. It's got the highest margin.
Food. Yeah, it's the highest margin for any food in the world. It's like, but then it's so good, and it's a snack. It's also could be a meal.
It'll never go out of style.
It's affordable. It'll never go out of style.
Yeah.
It's like the best business to go into if you're talking about food.
So you got 3 of them.
Yeah, 4 now.
4 now.
Jacksonville makes
wow.
4.
Shout out to Jacksonville, man. That's dope.
Yeah,
man.
the goal is to get 20 by the end of 2026.
Akon and the pizza game. Do you have any other franchises or anything you're a part of that you have?
No, but the next one's going to be a jollof rice fast food restaurant.
Oh, fire.
Yeah, so it's going to be called jollof. It's going to be fast food like McDonald's or Wendy's or whatever, but that's more like African cuisine, but quick. Almost like, what's that one? Chipotle.
Chipotle. Yeah, no, that is interesting because there hasn't been any, I feel like we don't have a lot of exposure on a commercial level to African food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's true. Like we get Jamaican food. Like you can get jerk chicken at like.
Yeah, you can get Jamaican. Yeah. You can get Chinese. You can get Thai.
For sure. Yo, what for you, man? Like, talk to me just about like your how do you feel about where we are musically right now? Because I feel like we've had like a interesting year because I feel like the Kendrick Drake thing kind of took over this year in terms of hip hop, at least.
Right.
And at least for me, as like a fan, I appreciated the fact people were like caring about bars again. You know what I mean? So there was
that was the positivity.
That was the positive.
It brought hip hop back to its essence.
It did. It also created like the civil war of hip hop.
Right. But I honestly, believe it or not, as much as I love the idea that happened, I wish it would have ended on a shaking hands, bygones be bygones, let them continue. Because that's the one thing about the hip hop industry. Like when you look at the LL and Kool Moe Dee beef all the way back in the day, those boys, after all of that, they came back and set an example. Like this is friendly competition, you know. They both went at it. You know who won. This is what it is, and they kept moving on with their careers. And I think sometimes with this generation, we take things so emotionally personal to the point where it goes beyond the competition on wax that it can easily like kind of easily spill over into some real live, you know, beef. And I just think that we got to we have to change that tone of it.
Yeah, I think too. Like with this like new landscape of fans and the internet.
Right.
Like now fans are emboldened. They're trying to expose artists.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Dropping locations.
Oh,
like,
my goodness.
It's
that
crazy.
Man, listen, the vibration of what music is just, it's so negative right now. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of it, honestly, I would kind of give my generation, I would say we're partly responsible for that too.
Why is that?
You know what I mean? Because I think it was a different step. Like the hip hop generation that we came up on, you know, like the African Bombadas and all them, like they always spoke on positive messaging. It was always party. If it was something that kind of like scrubbed the edge of content, it was always about something political that was going on in our neighborhoods.
Or like
we want to speak out about
something like that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then later, you know, when our generation came, then you know, gangster rap kind of opened the door up for a different era of music, where street crimes and street, you know, you could say politics became something to brag about.
Yeah,
it became something that you needed to be attached to make it in hip hop to be relevant, or even to be heard, or even to be looked at as somebody official. So then what happened was this new generation took that and really felt like they can glorify being gangster or glorify getting shot versus shooting, to the point where you can't be a rapper unless you got, or you like you've been locked up, or you've been shot, or you done shot at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Almost like that becomes your calling card or your backstage pass to become a part of the entertainment.
Yeah, and I always
mean?
say this too, like it kind of, fans become desensitized to when people die.
To the point where it's like, it's a part of it.
Well, they look at, I feel like they're looking at a lot of these kids as like characters in a TV show that
they think it's a
that they
video
watch
game.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
And so if someone dies, they're like, well, I'm going to leave a comment.
Yeah.
I know who did it. You know, like it's ridiculous.
Crazy.
But you were kind of like the first R&B artist who came into the game talking that talk.
Right.
Like before you, I can't think of another artist who was singing that was, I mean, think about Locked Up. Like, what are we talking about? Your first single was talking about being incarcerated, which is a crazy thought to be like, yo, I had a singing ass song with Styles P on it talking about being locked up, and that should change music for real.
Yeah, no, it really did. And I think because at the time when I came, R&B was really more about begging and love making and
being a simp.
It was, very, very sensitive.
And you also kind of came in when the R&B group was very popping still.
Yeah, it was
Jagged
like
Edge.
You had a lot of boy bands out there,
112
and all that. And then on the other side, you had the NSYNCs and the Backstreet Boys and all of that stuff. So yeah, we kind of was the balance, because everything was really a lot of happy-go-lucky R&B type of stuff.
Right.
Whereas there was a whole struggle that was being talked about on my album that was just in an R&B form, but lyrically just didn't match.
Yeah. I want to know something that I'm curious, because obviously you. You know, you being from where you're from, and some of the narrative that's out there about like immigrants coming to the United States.
Right.
Obviously, Trump famously during the debate talked about they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs.
Oh my gosh.
I just wonder, like, for you being on both sides of like coming into this country as an immigrant, and then also turning into a very successful entrepreneur, artist, you know, all of that, like what are your thoughts on that kind of whole discussion about like immigration, kind of like, you know, the border being a wild place right now? I heard I do hear, for you know, it is like a free for all, low key.
Yeah, I mean, all borders at a certain line is free for all.
Yeah,
because you can't board the whole there's not enough people to literally lock down every border, every entrance, every exit, right? So me personally, I just think borders is one of the main reasons why people don't get along. I think borders is one of our biggest mistakes ever. We should never, God created this land for us to roam through it freely.
Yeah.
There should never be a line saying, okay, this man can't cross here or this woman can't cross here. I don't think we should ever have borders at all. I think we should be able to roam through every parts of the earth as we please or see fit. There'll be a lot more peace for sure. I think people that's in a situation where life is not that good or struggle is created in that area go naturally want to get away from struggle and be in a more comfortable environment.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a person's place to say that you're not allowed to come to a place where you can thrive.
Right.
And I think that idea of it is what creates the problems, because even when you look at Mexico, there's this double line standard as to which Mexicans you can let in and which ones you don't. There's a lot of illegal Mexicans that's working in America.
Oh, tons. Yeah. I mean,
So
I don't know if
if
the country would not function without the labor that we have. Yeah.
It's impossible, right? So you can't try to set a line now saying, okay, well, they're illegal, but yet
Right.
you're hiring illegals.
Right.
What's the point? And then you don't even give them a social security number to be able to get a legitimate check, and then you down waging them and giving them lower wages than they're supposed to
them cash,
naturally get, or paying them cash, so there's no tax involved. So now you implicating yourself. So it's a wrong on both sides.
Right.
We can just all be human and just work together. Because believe me, I love going to Mexico. I love having a great time in Cancun or wherever the place may be, or going even into the further parts of Mexico. But at the end of the day, I think the idea of that border exists creates opportunity for more craziness to happen.
Yeah.
You know
How did your family come over?
My mom and dad, they came in legally,
Okay.
but they made sure that we were all born in the U.S., so we wouldn't have no problems with immigration in the future. So my dad he thought in the
He's
future.
like, we're going to have kids in the U.S.?
Right, and then you can take them back, because that's exactly what happened. So
Because of
after
the
all
right
of
of
us was
birth.
born,
Yeah.
he shipped us all back to Africa till we was raised. We came in speaking Spanish, French. We didn't speak English until we got to America.
Damn. So you speak how many languages?
4.
4.
Yeah.
That is crazy. What is your
The dialect in Senegal is Wolof.
Okay.
Yeah, Wolof is the native tongue.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
Are you leaning in either direction in terms of the presidential election at this point? I've seen a lot of people come to the Trump side that maybe not would have been on his side 4 years ago, and vice versa.
And vice versa. I think politics is just a big game of who can convince who that they belong to be, that they need to be. Me personally, I believe that we do need a woman leader.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't,
I think it's kind of overdue, right?
I think it's overdue, because one thing about women, their motivation is family, and I think the rules, the laws, the bills that family is going to pass will be more catered to family versus what Trump would pass. Trump, from a male's perspective, our motivation is power. So the bills that we pass are always going to be something that's going to always have a conversation between two parties where a war can either break out, or somebody's going to have to be set an example of to show that we have strength, right? So I think now for America specifically, and a lot of parts of the world, we need more women leaders.
Yeah.
And because women just naturally manage households better than men.
Got to give a shout out to MyBookie. Let's stop this interview real quick because, man, we're in the middle of football season. NBA season just kicked off, and I'm telling you this, go to mybookie.ag right now and get yourself an account, because if you ain't betting on MyBookie, I don't know what you're doing. You can get in on all the action. When you go to mybookie.ag, use the promo code BOOTLEG. When you sign up, you're going to get that first deposit bonus, doubling your first deposit. That's how it goes. It's a movie. Trust me, all right? NBA, I'm going to just say this. If I'm going to bet MVP this year, I like the odds on Kevin Durant right now. I do. I also like the fact that my Phoenix Suns are having a nice start to the season. NFL season's still rumbling, all right? Playoffs are kind of starting to shape up. We're about halfway through the season. You can bet baseball. You can bet football. You can bet NBA. You can bet college football. You can do it all. Plus, they got the live casino blackjack, roulette. They got the slots, all of it. MyBookie.ag, promo code BOOTLEG when you sign up for that new account. Also, speaking of signing up, why don't we sign up for some Blue Chew? A lot of people keep asking me, does Blue Chew work? Of course it does. It does work, yes. Is the country divided? Yeah, and Blue Chew works. Two things we can definitely say are the truth. And I'll say this, though, man. Everybody in this country can agree that Blue Chew will make your dick a lot harder. So what I need y'all to do is go to BlueChew.com right now, use the promo code Bootleg, and find out for yourself, because you're going to get a month's supply for free. Now, what is Blue Chew? Same active ingredient as Cialis and Viagra, but it's all in a nice chewable form, and it's delivered right to your door discreetly. And the best part about Blue Chew, my favorite part about Blue Chew, is you don't have to go to the doctor. You just do it all online. It's all online. You don't have any awkward doctor's visits. So if you're dealing with erectile dysfunction, maybe you need a little extra pep in your step, you want to make sure your dick is dicking as much as it can be dicking, maybe, you know, bruh, ain't nothing like that Blue Chew boner in the morning. Let me just say, look, go to BlueChew.com, promo code Bootleg, and get a month's supply for free, just $5 shipping. Let's get back to the interview. Yeah, and I think there's a certain level of compassion that is missing in the world.
Yeah, that's missing in politics specifically.
Yes.
Because what's happening in Gaza, to me,
there's zero compassion.
None.
Yes.
And that's crazy to me.
It is heartbreaking.
It's unbelievable.
It is heartbreaking. I saw a video today that really, it fucked me up, man.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, I feel like every day I open Twitter and it ruins my mood for an hour.
I promise you. Wow, man.
These people are just
shouldn't
getting
be happening. It's not
murdered.
even necessary.
Yeah, it's wild. You know, and the other thing too is like, you know, Gaza is such a very sad situation, and I'm glad that it's also. I've been noticing on Twitter more people are talking about what's going on in the Congo too.
Right.
With these the mines for the battery materials and all that. And because that's a whole other...
That's a whole other, man. All of this stuff that we go in here, all come from elements coming from Africa.
And if you see the video of these mines, I mean, you would think it was CGI.
Right.
It's 80,000 people stacked on top of each other, babies, you know, women and mothers carrying babies on their back while they're mining for... It's crazy. So crazy.
It's unbelievable, man.
Yeah. Yo, talk to me. I saw what is going on with the city, with your city, because I saw that Senegal had said that you had like a deadline, and give me the update on what's going on, because a lot of people calling you like saying it was a scam. Like, what is happening?
Okay, first of all, it's a city.
Let's clear it up.
No city is built in 24 hours.
Right.
A house takes 12 months. Sometimes
for
18.
Sure. Sometimes longer, yeah.
We're building literally a city, right? Yeah. So it's going to take time. I think the mistake that I made was promoting it while the concept was being put together. So what happened was people already assumed that it existed. And that's what it was. So while we're trying to put together the licenses, getting all the feasibility studies going on, the environmental studies and all of that's happening, the world is looking at Akon City as if the construction had already started.
Because you had already started talking about it, yeah.
Right. And I think, but these are all mistakes that you make as you go.
Yeah.
Right now, the process is still in motion. Things are already moving. And as time go, that's why I've been keeping a light, quiet conversation when it comes to the city until we get further into the project to where I can start having real conversations about it.
Have you, like, are you in Senegal, like, good in terms of just like,
oh, yeah.
They're up to date on what's
Everybody's up to date. Everything is on the up and up.
Have you seen this, just unrelated, but have you seen this thing that they're building in, I think it's in Dubai, that long...
Yeah, Liam.
That's
in Saudi Arabia.
That shit is crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. And interestingly enough, the guy that put together that whole master plan is the one that I just brought on board to help me arrange some ideas over at the city.
Yeah, for people who don't know, they're building this like long steel city.
It's like crazy.
It is something that you would see like... in like a sci-fi movie as a kid.
Right.
And they're actually doing it. It's like I saw a stat that like they're using like 20 or 30% of the world's steel manufacturing is going to that city right now. Because they're building this city in the middle of the desert.
In the middle of the desert. And
it's like, it's this, it looks fake.
It looks like a line.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts.
and that whole line, everything will be inside it, by the way.
Like everything you need, grocery stores, gyms, entertainment.
Subways, transportation.
It's so crazy.
Once you're in there, you're in there.
So you brought that guy on to help.
Yeah, one of the guys that did the master plan is working with me now.
That's fucking awesome, man. Nah, that's cool. You got to get a little condo over there in that.
I'm definitely going to have a spot in Liam for sure.
How for you, man, like what is, sure. I feel like we're also in like a cool era where a lot of, we got Juvenile's Weed sitting here. But Juvie's on tour with Manny Fresh doing his 25th anniversary of 400 Degrees. T-Pain's had such a crazy touring renaissance. I feel like we're to the point now where we're kind of like appreciating guys like yourself and like the era of music. Because like you said, the vibrations in music have been so low, and whatever we said earlier about like, like obviously drug dealing and shoot 'em up shit was glorified during your era, which was my era too.
Right.
but also there was a lot of music that was just fun.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I think of you, like your biggest records, like they're just fun.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, do you feel like that's what's missing right now? Is like artists are like kind of getting away from just like, yo, like people need music to live to. People need music
they do.
to smile to.
I think today they're too cool to have fun.
Yeah.
It's
like
too
you've
cool.
been to a club.
It's almost like being fun is being soft.
Yeah, you go to a nightclub, everyone's standing around mean mugging, holding fucking bottles.
Right. Everybody is it's too tense, man.
Yeah.
Like,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's way too much, man. Like with us, it was different because when you did get that energy, it stayed on the record.
Yeah.
Because regardless of what it is, when you came out, everybody was still cool. But on the record, it was on the record. It's business as usual. But when they meet up in person, they be like, oh, nigga, that lined up. I'm going to get you on that next record, nigga, watch. You know what I'm saying? It was different because we understood that it was still entertainment.
Yeah.
Today, they think entertainment is supposed to be life, and life has to be reflected in the entertainment.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets dangerous.
I'm curious now that, like, you know, we've had this, like 50 Cent has been prolific with the television shows.
Right.
BMF's a big show, and now Big Meech is out. So I'm really curious what's going to happen with Meech because he could, like, have the #1 podcast in hip hop if he did a podcast tomorrow or did like, I mean, that there's a very successful Stars show about his life and now he's free.
Now he's free. But Meech is one of probably the smartest dudes I've ever met, man. And not only that, but he's already got a plan on what he's going to do when he get out.
Right.
I promise you. And
because he's in a halfway house, right? He's out right now.
Yeah, he's out in Florida.
So you've met Meech before?
Oh, yeah. You know, his
cool
family,
guy?
my family, really cool, yeah.
Did you go into these crazy parties where they had like tigers and shit and wild animals?
We used to go to all those parties for sure.
What's the craziest thing you've seen at a beach party in terms of like just animals?
Yeah, because it's like this a hood nigga. Like nigga, what the hell you doing with tigers and shit? Like you know what I'm saying? Like what?
Who's babysitting
you
these
going
things?
there, bro? Like he was a visionary though, and I think that plays to his advantage because he thinks beyond the average person because he knows that whatever it is in your mind that you think you can actually make it happen. You just got to work towards it and find the money to get it done.
Yeah,
you know.
Recently, you were a part of. Vitaly's been doing these stings on child predators.
Yeah.
And I would say the most viral one he did was when they arrested a child predator and you're standing there singing Locked Up to the Sky. It was hilarious. Tell me about that situation because obviously I'm sure did he bag you out to do that? Because I mean he was getting everyone and their mom on that stream.
Yeah, he was already getting everybody on it. I just feel like everybody approached it in such in a negative way, really, right? But at the time I was promoting my 20th anniversary of Trouble.
Yeah. And
I feel like this would be a perfect opportunity to do that while at the same time utilizing those kind of platforms and find different ways to market and promote. And lo and behold, Wack 100
Shout out to Wack. That's my brother, man.
Big shouts to Wack. Wack called me and was like, yo, Con, hey, man, I got Vitaly, man. He wants to do this thing with you with the Predators. I said, what you mean? Predators, like off top I was like, nah, you know what, Wack, I don't know about that. But then he was like, nah, check out, man, Game just did it, you know, all these dudes did and everything. And so I checked and looked and I was like, oh, this is actually not bad.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean
the approach of it was, I said, you know what, this would be perfect. So then that's when we reached out and then me and Vitaly conversated on what we was gonna do and we was like, yeah, this is gonna go crazy.
So my thing is like, you know, I always say, because a lot of people have been like critical of him for doing it the way he is doing it, but I'm like, who cares?
Yeah, who cares? As long as it gets done,
think those people, even if they never get arrested, the fact that they're publicly out there and shamed,
yes, that's enough.
Like, yo, great, because I hope your life is ruined.
But you know what was crazy? Like, even the one that we did, the episode we did, I'm looking at this dude, I'm like, he's not even all the way there mentally. He's not, like, you could tell he's not. He's sane, but he definitely has mental issues.
Yeah, but now people know what he looks like, so now if he has a job or if he works around kids, it's like now you know.
I felt bad for him at the time it was happening, even though I was smiling and doing it. I knew that this was going to change his life because I know this is something he'll never want to go through again. But in my mind, I'm like, man, somebody should have been there to really have this conversation because I can tell that he wasn't all there. He wasn't well.
Yeah. No, that shit was. I'm not gonna lie, it was hilarious.
It was.
You
funny,
got the Bluetooth speaker.
It was funny.
What did the cops say? Did you talk to the cops?
Yeah, but see, at the time, the cops ain't know we was gonna do that because they probably would have told us we couldn't do it, so we ain't say nothing about it.
But I'm saying, like the cops be like, "Yo, I'm a fan." Like,
yeah, afterwards, one of the cops was like, "Man, I wanted to bust out laughing so bad, but I couldn't."
Can you imagine you go to work that day, you don't know that you're about to arrest a child predator while Akon performs Locked Up? That shit is hilarious, man.
That was too funny, bro.
Yo, have you watched the new Joker 2 with your girl Lady Gaga in it?
Yeah, I saw it.
What were your thoughts? It's getting panned critically.
Yeah, I mean, but you gotta understand, like, she's always been an amazing actress, artist, all that.
Star is Born is one of the best movies ever.
I promise you, bro.
It is.
And she's a 360 everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the way I look at it, those critics are always going to attack you.
Yeah.
But to me, when they attack you, then that means that was a piece that was well worth doing.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Did you like the movie?
I like the movie.
You liked it. Okay.
I like the movie.
Yeah, I think it just wasn't what a lot of people expected.
Yeah.
It's almost like The Wire season 2. I don't know if you've ever watched The Wire.
No, I haven't seen that.
Okay, The Wire season 2 was like, it just took a crazy left turn and everybody didn't appreciate it until years later. But
yeah, but I think with me it was a little different because I kind of already knew what it was going to be. And I already seen the storyline already to know what that was going to be versus, okay, anticipating something and then getting something different.
Do you?
Know what I mean?
I wonder, with what a lot of artists have been doing with selling their catalog.
Right.
Your catalog's got to be pretty unprecedented in terms of just all the stuff you've been a part of, whether it's the T-Pain stuff, the Lady Gaga stuff, your own solo stuff, all of that stuff. Have you been approached for the catalog thing, and have you sold anything?
I think everybody's been approached for it because that's the game. You know, when you look at the catalog stuff, I think for the most artists out there, if you do have an extensive catalog, hold on to it. Don't sell it.
So you haven't sold anything?
Hold on to it.
Yeah. For you, it's got to be just like it's residual income every month.
What people don't also have miscalculated is that the industry is changing and technology is moving into the future. So in a minute, there's going to be like licensing music going to be the driver for everything on the internet and everything on the metaverse. Metaverse is going to be the future of internet, period.
I say this too. It's like if all of these private equity firms are buying up catalog, they might know something we don't know.
Exactly.
So it's like you might just want to hold out.
Unless you need the money to survive, hold on to it.
Yeah. Hey, we're about to kick off another interview brought to you by Hardin. That's right. If you're in Vegas, it's the #1 dispensary in the country, the craziest selection of premium cannabis. And all you got to do is shoot them a follow, Hardin_Las Vegas, HardinLasVegas.com. When you're in Vegas, tell them I sent you. Let's get into the interview. Hey, Odd Socks, our longest standing sponsor. Our brothers, first of all, want to give love to our family at Odd Socks, dealing with the remnants still of the 2 hurricanes that hit the Tampa area. Our Odd Socks family, they are located in the Tampa area. Look, this is what we're doing, man. You get 20% off all of the Odd Socks, the most comfortable socks in the world. Yes. Whatever you're into, they got. I mean, you just saw some Scarface, some South Park. How about some Mountain Dew, Baja Blast? These are fucking fire. Man, Office Space. They got all the crazy licenses, Jurassic Park. I mean, we can keep going on and on and on. My favorite, honestly, if I'm just keeping a buck, are just the basics, though. Just the basic socks. They're just so comfortable, man. They're the best, all right? So look, if you want the most comfortable socks in the world, and let's also throw on some of the most comfortable draws in the world, why not? Let's see what these look like. Huh? Little G.I. Joes? Ooh. I ain't mad at the G.I. Joe draws. Listen, oddsocksofficial.com. I need y'all to use that promo code, Bootleg, right now. Save 20% off at checkout. Great gifts. And honestly, throw out all your other socks and just get 2 or 3 packs of Odd Socks Basics. I promise you, you're going to thank me later. Let's get back to the interview. What did you get an official offer? I'm just curious.
Oh no, I don't know how many offers. I don't know how many.
Can you share what's the craziest offer you got?
No, because then it's gonna convince others to sell. I don't want them to sell.
I feel like it'd be close to $1 billion.
I don't want them to sell. I really don't.
You're the amount of the amount of records that you probably own cuts of is got to be fucking insane.
Oh yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, no, it's wild. Yo, for you, man. What is the direction of your new album? I can't wait for y'all to hear it. I think it's going to change the game from a perspective of just the energy of where music is now versus where it needs to go. I really do believe that it's going to put more smiles on people's faces. It's going to change the energy of records that make you feel good or music that felt good, period, in times where you needed to hear something to kind of put you through something. Yeah. Is there any homage to the sound to your first album?
Yeah, I think if you like the first album, this second album, the first This, you know what? If I had to put this album in category of any of my 3 albums, I would say it was a mix of all 3 albums for this album.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, it would definitely be a mix of all 3 albums because I realized I built 3 different bases. Because the first album was more of a hip hop base
For sure.
audience. Then the second album was more rhythmic, crossover.
Third album was pop.
Third album was pop.
Yeah.
So this album that I'm putting out, The Not Guilty, gives you a number of all of that.
I'm curious, man, like from a radio perspective, when you would meet program directors, did they ever give you hell about how hard you made their job? Because there was just no artist separation?
Yeah, and for sure. No, listen, interestingly enough, you brought that up. The reason why they created that artist separation law was because of what I was doing.
Yeah, because it was like, yo, Akon's on fucking everything.
On
And then
everything.
after you, it was T-Pain's on fucking everything. And then Lil Wayne had that run where he was on fucking everything.
Yep.
And now Drake is just like, it's crazy.
It was crazy, but that's why they did it for sure.
Yeah, no, it's wild too because like for a while there, like you were like everybody needed an Akon hook. Was there a feature that you almost did that didn't end up coming out, or maybe something you cut that didn't end up dropping, or something that almost happened that didn't? Because you worked with so many artists.
Yeah, so many. It was actually a record that I did with Nicki Minaj.
It never dropped.
It never dropped. But it was, I think, would have been probably one of my biggest pop records.
Wow. What year was this?
This happened in
2010? Oh, 17. Okay.
Yeah, this is recent.
Recently.
But back then, I would probably say the one that didn't come out was me and, who was that? Can I even remember which one it was? Ooh. Well, the one that didn't come out, but then eventually came out after, was the one with Michael Jackson. Because that was supposed to come out while he was alive. But then it was a lot of complication on the release between Universal and Sony on the negotiations of it. And then when Mike passed, the song went to his estate. And then 2 years later, they ended up putting it out.
Did you end up having any conversations with Mike when he was alive?
Oh yeah, he was my road dog for like 2 years before he passed.
Oh, that's crazy.
We was doing a lot of work together, and then we was also doing a lot of new music that was supposed to drop for his tour that he was doing in the UK.
What was something like just being around Michael Jackson? Obviously, there's so many misconceptions about him.
Yeah, too many.
I feel like a lot of people also didn't really know him.
They didn't know him at all.
What would you say your experience being with him?
Mike was just, man. I think I wish the world would have got to see and know him the way I did. Because and then I also realized why he was probably the biggest artist on the planet. His heart drove everything that he did. His focus was always on kids and how he can mentally put them in a position to conquer anything, and also physically put them in environments to be able to conquer whatever those dreams were. Because he was one of those kind of kids that didn't have a childhood. Yeah. Because he grew up as a child star.
Right.
So that's why his adult years, he was so attached to things that kids do, because he was free enough and rich enough to do those things that he never got a chance to do. But he couldn't do it with other adults. So he made sure that other kids that didn't have the means to do it were around or was able to get that experience. You know what I mean?
And you guys worked on a lot of music together, huh?
Yeah. We
like, how many unreleased songs or unreleased ideas did you guys?
Yeah, endless amount of ideas. Endless amount of ideas. I wish I could chop them things up and put them out today, but unfortunately.
Like where does the state have them? Is it on?
Yeah, well, I got them, but I could never put them out because I don't think the state would ever approve.
Everything sounds good though?
That dude's...
You just got raw Michael Jackson vocals just chilling. And we'll never hear him. That's what's crazy.
That's the worst.
Yo, that's crazy.
That's like...
Can you imagine? Yo, have you and T-Pain ever discussed doing a joint project?
Yeah, actually that's something that we're discussing now.
Ooh.
And believe it or not, that's why we're starting to do more appearances together. You know what I'm saying? To kind of start getting that energy to see where the crowd is often, like what their energy is before we start announcing certain things.
Oh, no, I think that would be monumental, man.
100%.
If you and T-Pain did like a 10-song banger or something like that.
We definitely...
It's overdue.
Way overdue. But it's better that we can do it now that we're both independent.
Yeah, I think like it's...
Because now we can do it the way we want to do it.
100% without all the red tape and all that bullshit.
Right.
It's crazy for people who don't know, like T-Pain, he said that like he really took a gamble signing with you.
No, he did. But I don't think it was a gamble. I would say he took a leap of faith.
It was a leap of faith because he had other opportunities on the table with big money.
He had 5 major upper opportunities.
But he went with you, and at the time you have an unproven concept. Convict Music was just you.
It was just me.
So like he really kind of like, just believed in.
He did. He believed in me.
And then, the world has changed in music forever. You know what I'm saying?
Because all I could offer him at that time was a career.
Yeah.
I couldn't give him the upfront money that he was looking for, but I knew one thing: rocking with me, I'm gonna make sure that you can be able to feed your family forever.
Yo, and it worked out.
It worked out for sure.
It did work out. Yo, was there anybody who you almost signed to Convict Music, but it just didn't end up happening?
Young Thug.
Really?
Yeah, we had his first record, Stoner.
That was on Convict?
That was on Convict.
Stoner was on Convict?
Yeah, we pushed that one. So it was a single deal that was supposed to go into an actual full album artist deal. But when that record blew up, of course,
everybody came in
everywhere else, and that's how that one ended up going.
Wow, I did not know Stoner was on Convict Music because I lived in Tampa when that dropped.
We worked that record.
That shit was huge.
That's how I met OG Boo Dirty, actually.
Wow.
I met OG Boo Dirty as we was doing all the promo stuff for Thug.
And did you guys at least, obviously, despite him not staying with you, did you guys keep a good relationship?
Oh yeah, no, it was. I mean, I know business.
Yeah,
but and the decisions he made actually worked out for him because he had an amazing career.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, his situation, I think, is. I was just talking with Jelly Roll, my boy Jelly Roll,
right,
and he was saying if he gets
artist Jelly Roll,
yeah,
he's so dope.
He's amazing. Yeah,
he's dope.
He just got the #1 album in the country right now.
I love Jelly Roll.
Yeah, he's incredible. But we were talking. I was on the road with him a few days last week.
Oh, that's dope.
And we were talking about the Thug situation, and he was like, "Man, if he gets out, he better sue the fuck out of." Because it's been the longest trial. There's been so much malpractice, it would seem, with the prosecutor and Fannie Willis and all. I'm like, yo, Thug's, he might have a civil suit on his hands if he ends up getting exonerated.
It's gonna be interesting to see where that goes for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's definitely gonna be interesting, man. For you, brother, is like what's next for you outside of all like the Akon City, the new music? Or are you gonna do a book, or are you gonna do a podcast, or what are you interested in doing?
We're doing all of it. We got Convict Media coming, where it's gonna be a list. I actually just acquired what used to be what's called Lit Radio now, but before then it was Dash Radio.
Yeah.
Which was so
wait
now,
Dash
that was DJ
Ski's thing. Yeah,
that was DJ Ski. There's a company out of Australia that bought it.
Okay,
and then we acquired into that company, and now we named it Lit.
So Lit Radio.
Yeah, Lit Radio. So it's now not only just going to be podcast, but it's going to be streaming and everything else like that.
Yeah, and I think Dash, at least from what I remember, it was available in like Ford. Was it Ford vehicles?
It was.
So you're part owner of that now?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we took the whole platform over.
Oh, that's big, man. Yeah. I always wondered, like, DJ Ski, that dude right there, like
super smart.
Bro, and he's always finding people to give him money.
Listen, he's the perfect. Yeah, when I tell you Ski, I don't know, he pulls it out of a hat every time. Every time.
Because like Dash has been around. I always just was like thinking like, I'm a radio guy.
Right.
So I always was just like, how do they make money?
Right.
But like, it just keeps getting bigger. You get the studio in Hollywood at the Dream Hotel. I'm like, where are they getting all this money? Like,
right. Now, Ski is he's like a master networker. He knows how to find, but he's a great pitcher too.
Yeah.
And he knows how to present it to where you see the value.
The vision, yeah. I'm curious, man, like you've been on so many different sides of the music industry. It feels like there's some sort of energy where at least I feel like artists need to try to start figuring out a way to push off of these DSPs a little and go back to going direct to consumer, whether it's dropping vinyls, whether it's dropping, merch. I don't know have you heard of LaRussell? The kid LaRussell, he's out in the Bay, he's doing like super independent. He's doing these concerts in his backyard.
Wow.
And you have to pay, like you pay what you want to go to the show. So he's got some people paying $10,000 to come see him live and some people paying $10,
That's so dope.
But I wonder, where do you kind of forecast the industry going? I feel like we're at least 10 years into the streaming era now.
Yeah, we in. I think there's going to be a model that allows artists to now, again, go back to selling something physical. Even if it's a combination of music, more merch, and something digital asset to get, to connect with it. But I do believe that the streaming aspect of it is not making no sense for us at all still.
It's just
to
tough.
The point where there's going to be a model that comes in that knocks that out unless the streamers come and start actually paying something fairly.
Yeah, because Spotify pays you $3,800, you get 1 million streams. Like
it doesn't make sense.
That's crazy. 1 million people listen to this, or 1 million times, and you're only getting $4,000. Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's just I think there has to be like some, like, do you feel like major labels are even like like, would you rather be independent at this point, or like if let's say you're Akon 20 years ago coming into the game, you got a buzz going, you got a mixtape buzz going. Do you feel like a label is necessary still?
No, not for me, for sure. I mean, that's why I'm independent now.
But I'm talking about even if you're like a new artist. Like obviously you're fucking Akon, so
right,
you're rich. You could self-fund.
Right. As a newer artist, I think depending on what it is they're doing, right? If you're more of a novelty artist, you underground, you're trying to build a swell to where you're not looking for this big major career, definitely go independent.
Yeah.
But if you're doing things like top 40 pop music,
you kind of need the machine.
Survive. You're not going to survive in an independent era.
Yeah. I always say if you're a pop artist and that's the goal,
pop,
you kind of need the machine.
Yeah, you need the machine.
But you can build your cult following.
Unless you got someone like DJ Ski that's going to raise the money for you.
Yeah. Or you have like a dope, like creative, like partnership with a distribution company that still lets you keep your masters. They'll give you an advance, and like there's some sort of like hybrid deal of the two, like an Empire or something.
Empire's actually been a good model for the revenue model for independent artists. I think they've done a really, really good job.
Yeah, they got Shabuzi. The biggest song on Billboard this year is technically Shabuzi owns all that. He owns the masters of that record.
They've done a really, really good job. Because I think when you look at how Empire did it, they took up a major position, and they actually start spending the money that's necessary. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I think from a perspective of independent, it's really about the purse, just having the funding to do it. But then you got to be connected to people that know who is the shakers and bakers in the business.
Yeah, I feel like, we see this so much. I always tell artists, like, you could have all the money in the world. If you don't know where to spend it, then you're fucked.
It don't make sense.
Because how many people have we seen who got the dope boy behind them dropping stupid money?
Athletes.
Athletes.
Oh my goodness. Every athlete got a label. Yeah, and they just throwing money out the window.
And it's never worked.
It's never worked.
I don't know the
only
NBA
one
player
that's ever worked was Shaq.
And he was a major because he was rapping.
On a major.
I mean, he had platinum. He had a platinum record.
He's the only.
Can't see the rain.
He's the only one.
But I'm talking about Carmelo Anthony had a label. Amari Stoudemire had a label.
No, all of them got.
Kevin Durant had a label.
Yeah, even the ones you don't know got labels.
And no one gives a fuck.
Right.
Because they just think because they got money, it's like, bro, that's not. You got to know where to spend it. You got to.
Yes.
You got to be smart. Like money. Like money's one thing, but knowing what to do with it is the other. Otherwise, you're just a tax write-off.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How? By the way, I'm curious. When you're like the level of wealthy that you are, do you have like any tax loophole, like a tidbits you could share with the people? Like anything?
Me, I just pay my taxes, bro.
Anything you could like write off that people don't think about? Like
listen. The best and the smartest advice I can give you, just follow all the rules to the T. You can never, listen, this is the part that I don't understand about people trying to evade taxes. It don't make sense, first of all. Because what happens is, you got money sitting in a bank or in a trust fund, or it just sits there anyway.
Right.
It's like, it literally just, you can't spend all that money in a lifetime. So what is the point, right? So my thing is, spend as much of it as possible that you can write off so you can get a portion of that back.
Yes.
It's literally that simple.
It's that easy. I would say, like, if you know you got a big tax bill coming up,
right?
What are some
things? Just start spending.
What are some things you can invest in?
Boom.
Like, okay, I need new cameras.
Boom. Anything that you can write off.
I need a vehicle that weighs over 6,000 pounds.
There you go. You feel what I'm saying? Once you learn the rules of what's needed, just
some people buy
it.
a private jet.
Right.
Because that's a write-off.
That's a write-off.
If you got a business, a PJ, that's transportation.
And really what's so dope is that when you know how, when you do follow the rules and you actually write it off, that money comes back to you. So it's almost like everything that you bought, you're getting for free.
Yes. Or that's what I say.
Really?
I say when it's time to, if you're a business owner and you know taxes are coming, you know you're going to have a bill, you can either buy some shit that's useful to your business or give it away to the government. Pick one.
You got to pick one.
Any idea when the new album's coming out? I know you got a new single also coming in December, right?
Yeah, that one's going to open the door for the actual album that's going to drop in February.
Fully independent.
Fully independent.
I love it,
Convict
man.
culture.
I love it. What's going on with Colby O'Donis? Random question.
Yeah, you know what? This is the fourth person that asked me about him. He's actually going to be performing at my show in a couple of days, and we're
tell him to leave his weird ass dad alone. Like, I met him at a high school mix tour once when I was an intern, and Colby O'Donis' dad creeped me the fuck out. But yo, he was dope. He was so talented.
Listen, can I tell you, Colby was Justin Bieber before Justin Bieber.
He was super talented.
He was the most unbelievable talent that I've had ever signed. But unfortunately, his dad was in the middle of a lot of the business.
Yeah.
But now he's open, he's grown, he's free. And unfortunately, 3 years ago, his dad actually passed away.
Oh, well, rest in peace to his dad.
He's actually moving.
Well, rest in peace to his dad. I do feel bad for saying that.
No, that's
his
okay.
dad wasn't with us. How's your relationship these days with Gaga? You guys ever talk?
Yeah, we talk. We
Yeah.
talk as well.
Yeah. I feel like if you and T-Pain do a joint album, you got to have her on the fucking album.
Come on now.
That'd be crazy.
Gotta happen.
Yeah.
Well, my goal is to get all of us together on something super, super big. I don't care if it's going to be a world tour, a whole album, but I just want to bring the whole family together as one celebration of all the stuff that we did and contributed to the business.
Nah, for sure, man. Well, listen, you're a legend. The new song is out. Everybody should go run that up.
Absolutely.
Anything else people can support you on right now? Obviously, you got do you still have the crypto?
Huh?
Is the crypto coin still a thing?
All that's on pause.
Okay,
It was too political. I couldn't get. It was starting mixing up with my real business.
I don't know much about. Listen, I know I lost money
Yeah.
on fucking Ripple.
Yeah, we all lost money on that stuff. But for that specific, me, it was more political because my coin was never even in the U.S.
Right.
That was for Africa and Africa only.
Right.
But because it was doing so much in Africa, it started to affect some of the agendas. And it started getting a little deep. And I was like, it ain't worth it.
There it is, man. Well, look, I appreciate you pulling up. Akon, by the way, I might have to catch a flight to the Red Rocks show. That's going to be crazy.
Yo, you got to. It's going to be nuts.
My guy, Con, I appreciate you pulling up, brother.
You already know, baby.
Boom. Fire.